All right. So for this week's Hunter Todd Drive, we're gonna do a double whammy, a double fister, a double hitter, whatever you want to call it. You know, when you drink two beers.
Absolutely.
Right.
You got it, right? You got it. Okay. I didn't think I had to explain that, but okay. So we're going to do Doctor Strange 2 and Thor Love and Thunder all at once. Both of them came out this year in 2002.
2002?
Love and Thunder is directed by 2022, sorry. My bad. That was a typo.
Is somebody backing up a truck?
Taika Waititi.
Smoke alarm
Yeah,
going off.
my neighbor seems to be... My neighbor's home, guys. My neighbor's home.
Good enough.
In case you were wondering.
It's far more exciting than what we're talking
Anyway,
about. So.
Anyway, yeah, and Doctor Strange was directed by Sam Raimi. Also came out in 2022. And I'm just going to say really quickly and very briefly, Doctor Strange, I expected a little more horror. It didn't happen. Are you... Brian, can you mute? Are you okay? Yeah, do that. All right, so, yeah. Doctor Strange 2, I wish it was a little more scary, but it was not terrible. Not what I expected, but it wasn't bad. And Love and Thunder I actually liked. I did also expect more from it and more from Gore, the God Butcher, but I did enjoy it, and I'd like to know what you think, Tech. Tell me what you thought about.
Well, actually,
both
like
of
I think I'm with you on Doctor Strange with more horror, because that's how it was kind of. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, hey, I want to see a violent Batman, or I want to see this, you know, and we're kind of expecting the same thing with Doctor Strange. Really, like, out of your chair.
I mean, it was. There were some scary moments,
but it was almost it was tamed for like a PG-13
Yeah.
audience almost, you know, and I think that was a little bit of a letdown. But on the entertainment side of things, man, I mean, I'm easy to please, so of course I'm going to say I like it. I don't want to keep it. I liked it, and I mean it's bringing in a lot of different pieces, right? So the what if side of things, it's bringing in all these different things that a regular fan like me, the one that didn't read all the comic books like you, can still keep up to speed with it. So I think
I didn't read all the comics. I read some comics, so yeah.
Well,
I
some
don't
is
wanna
more than
sound
what
like,
I read, which is
I don't want to
none,
misrepresent.
right? And so for storytelling,
That's-
I mean, which is. I mean, these are audiences that most people didn't watch, you know, didn't read any comic book. They're just kind of like walking into it because they like Iron Man or they like Hulk or these recognizable characters. It was told at a level that somebody like me could understand. And so I appreciated that. I thought it was great storytelling just to see all those different pieces. And then the multiverse, it kind of explained a little bit more. And you could just, it blew my mind that you can go anywhere. This movie kind of proved, besides What If, you can go anywhere. You can literally go anywhere. Mm-hmm. You can tie any universe together. There's really no boundaries to it all. So I thought that was kind of cool because it just opens up more opportunity to tell more stories.
Yeah. And what about Love and Thunder?
I liked it too. I thought it was a little quirky. I mean, it kind of mimics the director's style, right? Yeah,
campy.
But I liked it. And anytime the Guardians are in, I'm down. Like I'm a huge Guardians fan. And I was grateful just to get the little bit I got. I'd like to see more.
It was brief, but
whenever they're there,
Nice and sweet.
it's instant like laughter. And then I would have liked to see more. But it's not about them. It's about Thor. So I thought it was good. And then the kids, when the kids came out, oh my gosh, dude, I thought that was a highlight of the movie. For me, watching the kids just go off and get all this power and energy and just start wailing on the enemy. I thought that was so rad. So I'm down. Yeah.
Right on. All right. Thank you, Joe. Steven, what did you think of both of those films?
Okay, so Doctor Strange. This is. I first of all, I loved the movie. I love what we got. I'm. If I had to give it like a rating, I would rate it like an 8 out of 10.
I mean, you don't have to. But okay.
But
cool.
and I don't want to validate anything that Crosshair has been saying. Okay.
Dude, ignore him.
Smiling.
Don't even worry about it. It's fine.
I pay
You say
I
what
pay
you
a
wanna
lot of
say.
attention to these movies. Anything that, you know, whether it's Star Wars or Star Trek or Marvel movies or anything like that. I pay a lot of attention to the production of it. Good. And there was something that Brian said last week, that these are COVID era movies. Okay. So hold on.
Flow through you.
Hold on. There was a lot of pre-production material that was coming out for Doctor Strange, where the original director had signed on from Doctor Strange 1, and he was going to, like you guys said, he was going to make this Marvel's first true horror movie. And then he left the production due to creative differences. They left on good terms. But when Sam Raimi came in, he did his thing. Originally, the villain for the movie was gonna be Nightmare. And there's even scenes that ended up in the movie that almost reference him, but they completely took him out and they just made Wanda the villain. So, I mean, I'm okay with that. But knowing that, it left me wanting it. Now, Marvel's very smart. I'm sure they're not just going to completely scrap him. There had to have been a good reason they took him out of the movie for now. And then there was this other thing with Doctor Strange where, the Illuminati, which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
There was an interview with, what's her name? Wanda. The actress that played Wanda. Man, I'm really bad with these names.
I'm worse.
Olsen.
Don't worry.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth
Thank you.
Olsen?
That was an interview where they asked her what was it like to work with John Krasinski, and she said, "Oh, I've never met him before." And then there was an interview with the actor that played Black Bolt, and they said, "What was it like to wear the costume again?" And he said, "Oh, I didn't wear the costume. It was just all digital." So then I did a little more research on it, and it turns out the entire Illuminati filmed their scenes separately, and nobody knew who was going to be in the movie. Nobody knew who was sitting next to each other. Elizabeth Olsen didn't even know who she was killing in whatever scene. They just said, "Oh, pretend like you're lifting somebody up."
It was all
Just wave your
editing.
hands.
And so for me, I mean, these editors and these and these post-production people are absolute geniuses and artists on their craft and what they do. But in the end result for me, it just felt a little flatter than it should have been.
I could see that.
But
I think flat or forced, like they're trying to push something, or
no, definitely
like they
definitely a
didn't
little
hit.
flat. And
Like they missed.
and I don't know if that's just because my expectations were so high, or if that's because of the end result, the way it ended up. Ultimately, for what we got, I like it. Kevin Feige and the Marvel team are very smart. This movie almost reminds me of Iron Man 2, because Iron Man 2 was the original first movie of the phases, the quote unquote phases. And so, like, if you think back to Iron Man 2, it was not a solid movie, but they gave us a little bit, right? They were feeding us a little of the breadcrumbs to go into this whole Infinity Stone thing.
dude, I loved Iron Man. too.
And I kind of feel like Doctor Strange is that. It's the first movie that's giving us the first building block to the multiverse. So I'm not trying to.
It's a necessary.
I'm not trying to judge it too harshly based on that, because who knows? Like at the end of the multiverse saga, we might look back and be like, "Oh my god, this meant that, and this meant that, and this means," so I can't judge it on those merits, but I thought it was a good movie. They would do that scene when Scarlet Witch is coming out of the gong. That freaked me. That was like classic Sam Raimi right there. That freaked me out.
Yeah. Right on. And what about Love and Thunder?
Again, I don't like to validate too much of what Brian says.
You have done well.
I mean, It's only these two films that he probably didn't enjoy much. So
far, yeah.
love-
Let me just real quickly before you go into that.
we'll get there.
I feel bad.
This
I
is
shit
my
on-
time.
I-
This is my time.
I know. I shit on.
This
on
is my
Peacemaker.
time.
I know. Go ahead.
You
I
shouldn't,
know.
though.
I was trying to apologize.
This is
that
my
much.
time. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, yeah. Save your apologies, Brian.
Save your
We'll
hate.
get there.
Just wait.
All right, go ahead, Steven. Sorry.
For me, I love the movie. I love all the jokes. I really did love everything about this movie. The only critique that I have of it is that it felt like it was too much of Taika. I love all his other projects that he does. Like our banner, our flag means death. All the vampire stuff that he does too. So I love all of his stuff, and I love his humor. This one just felt like the producers gave him too much creative freedom.
Is there an example? I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot. But is there like something that you saw? They were like, I could have probably maybe not spent so much time in that, and just kind of moved on and got to the point. Is there anything that stands out, or
it just felt like it was just so many of his jokes, so many of his one-liners, and his quick
quips
punches
or whatever?
and jokes.
Yeah.
Quips.
For me, the movie didn't really start to feel like a Thor movie until Jane Foster was in the hospital, which is pretty much towards the end. So maybe I heard that the movie got cut down about half an hour.
Oh,
like right before release.
Director's
so
cut?
maybe that's what maybe they cut some stuff out, some serious stuff, but I liked it. I mean, I would watch it again.
Cool.
I'd save it.
Right
I'd
on.
save it to
Thank
the
you,
hard
Steven.
drive.
You'd save it? Okay.
Well, it's coming out on Disney Plus
Raimi.
on Disney Plus Day.
September
true.
8th. Yeah,
Pretty
it'll
soon.
be out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, along with a making of documentary,
All right.
which will be new for all of us. So I'm sure.
Let me know when you watch it again.
Ooh,
Cross
interesting.
Okay, so I'll start with Love and Thunder by saying that I have not seen it. So when it came out in the theater, it was we were busy, we were moving. It was not a good time for us to make it to the theater. So I have seen Doctor Strange too, though. So I kind of am there with Steven and Crosshair a little bit here. So I have always.
Oh, I haven't gone yet.
Oh, yeah.
But we almost can already predict.
So you're going to come on and say
Yeah,
you
well,
loved
we know
it? Okay,
you,
great.
dude.
Surprise. So I have never done good with them taking a character or something that I liked and doing something with it that was just not like and making me want to not like it. So I was not a fan of Wanda being the bad guy because I like her character and her story up until this point, and I was uncomfortable seeing her be someone that the movie was framing up for us to consider a villain. And I'm sure that that's intentional to to show her the tragedy of her story and everything like that. But I've just never enjoyed watching things where the hero dies or like where there's like major consequences like that. So I want entertainment to take me out of the bad things that happen in the real world, not to hit me in the face with them. So I wasn't a fan of Wanda being the bad guy. That said, I look at these like I look at even Star Wars movies. Like it's like you asked me like, well, what's your favorite Star Wars movie or which one do you like the least? I don't look at it that way. They're all just different chapters or different parts of one big overarching story. So
Which kid do you love the least?
Right.
Which kid do you love the most?
Right. So and yet the kid, it's all one family. It's you love your family. So I
Put 'em on the spot.
I didn't care for this Doctor Strange, but I'm curious to see how it fits into the overarching stories, how this sets the stage. I do think that they did a good job dovetailing off of the multiverse stuff that we saw in Spider-Man, and kind of gave it more. They gave you more of an understanding of that, and I think that's going to be important as other movies come down the line. So, for that, I thought they did a good job with that.
I think, and I think it was more to because a lot of these new movies are doing like the passing of the torch to the younger version or the younger counterpart of the main character. So for Doctor Strange, I feel like they. It was America Chavez introduction and how she can travel through the multiverse.
I liked her. I thought she was great.
Yeah, I liked her character a lot.
Yeah. How do you pronounce her name? Xochitl
America
Gomez?
Xochitl Gomez?
Chavez?
No,
Xochitl?
the actress. The name of the actress.
However you pronounce X.
Yeah. Okay.
With a Z? With a Z?
It's pretty hard. Yeah, I can't pronounce it. But I like her too. And same with Love and Thunder. They did that. With the actress it was Gore's daughter, but it was Chris Hemsworth's daughter who was the
that was super
love,
cool,
quote unquote.
That was really cool.
His son was in the movie too.
Oh, you like
His son
that?
was Thor, young Thor.
Yep.
Running through the trees.
Oh yeah, he was. You're right. In the sequence, yeah. A montage.
That's cool. I like it when they do that.
All right. Well, thank you, Raimi. Appreciate that. All right, Crosshair. Let's get down to business. Let's tell me what you thought about first Doctor Strange, and then we'll do Love and Thunder.
Obviously, hold on. I'm gonna apologize for last week. Peacemaker, I think, was well made. Wasn't for me. I actually really like John Cena. I think he's charming AF. He's like The Rock. Like, how can you not like him? I thought it was well made. Wasn't for me. DC's not my thing. Whatever. But there you go. I apologize, John Cena.
Hater. Thank you.
Apologize to the people that produced it. Let me know when Polka Dot Man 2 comes out. Tell me how you think. Okay,
Dude,
so
he's gone,
Doctor
bro.
Strange.
He's gone.
It could be a prequel to Polka Dot Man story.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna tell him that
Cassian?
actor is
Come on.
around.
Doctor Strange. So that was the first, and I'm gonna just preface all of this with like my, I guess you'll call it hate, comes from disappointment. Go ahead, Steven. Keep doing it. It comes from disappointment because like we went, we only had the TV shows, which I really liked. Falcon and Winter Soldier. What came before that? I'm drawing a blank.
WandaVision.
I loved WandaVision. Loved
Loki.
Loved Loki.
Loki,
Loved Falcon and Winter Soldier. Loved Moon Knight. Moon Knight was my favorite out of all of that.
You loved Miss Marvel,
Haven't seen
right?
it.
No.
But
We'll talk about that later too.
Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange was like the first like movie that came out, and like we had moved to the East Coast, and we had our favorite movie theater at home, and we would watch in California that we would watch, and we like found the theater that was cool, bought tickets, got there, and 30 minutes into it, and I blocked out so much of the movie because it just left me so underwhelmed and disappointed that I don't recall exactly the things, but I'm going to go back to what I said last time. COVID era movies. Hollywood is restricted as to what they can do. It's so much CGI. They're rushing to tell stories. They're rushing to throw things in. I mean, hearing Steven kind of give it his ideas leads me to believe, when you think about it, you're like, wait, we went from this epic story to these kind of rushed things. I mean, half hour in, my family and I looked at each other and we were like, what is this? And I do understand that there are comic book details that are deeper, that are over my head. But I usually, John, you're usually really good at knowing that.
No, but not necessarily comic book stuff. But I don't know if you guys watched all the What If stuff.
I did, and What If was awesome. I just felt, I think what Raimi said with like Wanda, the characters didn't seem like themselves, like at all. They seemed like different characters, but without people coming at me with hate or whatever, like the girl character with the lightning bolt on her back. I don't know. I would have loved to have seen a young girl like that. And it just seemed so, Marvel is so detailed, deep, and intense with their storytelling. And that just seemed so basic. Here's a girl with a denim jacket with it. Oh no, it was a star. The star. Like I just didn't, it didn't, it didn't. And yes, you can go back.
But that's the character.
I understand that
that's
you can go back and pull from comics, but also guess what? When you pull back and go look in comics, they all had tights on. All of them. Did they all have tights on? Did
Spider-Man
Captain
still
America
does
have tights on? I'm just saying, like
Well, they're updated to our modern
she's not.
era.
She has a denim jacket with a star.
What do you mean she's not? She's wearing a denim jacket. What's wrong with a denim jacket? We all own a denim jacket.
I was
or vest,
underwhelmed.
I'm sure.
And then Thor, so that one's more fresh on my mind. Do you guys have you seen the movie Wayne's World?
Yes.
We've all seen Wayne's World, right? Okay, so remember when they're like, it feels like they really only like put it in there because it's, like they're getting paid or something. Here's a Guns N' Roses song. Here's a Guns N' Roses song. Here's another Guns N' Roses song. Oh, this guy's name's Axl.
They have to pay.
There's
They have to pay to use those songs. They don't get paid.
But-
Does Marvel?
Yeah, not only that, but there was a theme in Ragnarok too.
Yeah,
It was
they also
mostly
had
Led
an
Zeppelin.
awesome soundtrack too. And they played the same
So there's no soundtrack for the new one.
The same Led Zeppelin. It was completely underwhelming. Go back and listen to Ragnarok and then listen to Love and Thunder, and you tell me it's even close from an audio perspective.
That just means you like Led Zeppelin more than GNR.
I love them
That's
both.
all it's telling
I love
me.
them both. I didn't hear the whole catalog of
Taika
Led Zeppelin.
did say that when he was writing the screenplay, when he was writing it, he had GNR in his mind.
So that's fine. I didn't need 8 songs, the guy's name to be Axl, the poster in the background, right? Wayne's World.
We mentioned him too.
It was too much.
Okay, that's
Number
fair.
2. And to go back to what I said about Doctor Strange, I went into Thor going, oh God, this has got to be better than Doctor Strange 2. It's Taika. This is awesome. Same thing. 30 minutes in, I was like, what's going on? Russell Crowe. Character was awesome. How many times did he need to say orgy?
A lot.
Goes along with us Steven saying.
Yeah, okay.
Korg.
I mean,
By far one of my favorite characters in all of Marvel. How many times did he have to repeat the freaky joke? That's freaky. Freaky. He said it 20 times. It was like, okay. Like the joy of it in the first one was like, it's a circle, not like a normal circle, like a freaky deaky circle. And it was fucking hilarious. Sorry. Bleep that one. Put my hand up so you know to bleep. They used it 20 times in this. It was rushed. So much CGI. Did not feel Thor talking to hit the hammer and the storm break.
dude, that was your favorite part. Come on. You love the sweet nothings whispered into Stormbreaker's.
Dude, honestly, all
hammer.
of this comes from disappointment. It just comes from disappointment from what I thought was going to be amazing. And I'm not going to go into detail too, but there were things that happened in previous Marvel movies that they basically rewrote in this one to fit some sort of social narrative. So there you go. That might get me in trouble, but whatever. So
all right, well, I appreciate the blunt honesty on if you like the films or not. So that's it. That's it for Hunter's Hard Drive. Apparently, you're not keeping it on. You're deleting it. I assume,
I'll try to watch it when it comes on Disney Plus again, but I don't.
No, you won't. All right. Anyway, all right. Thank you.
So that actually that leads me into a question that I have for you guys. What do you guys think about Taika taking over a Star Wars movie? So he's actually writing it, and
I still have faith in him, and I believe he can do.
I like Ragnarok.
Star Wars justice.
Yeah, and
I
he's
just
done.
feel like until we get out of this phase of when they were there's a reason why these movies are so much CGI. They're rushed. Because they're restricted as to far as what they can do. So I would say honestly, like Prey is probably one of the best COVID era movies that has come out. And that movie's not great, but it's good. Like, that has been produced and made under these, like, there's a whole laundry list, and that this goes into society that we can go down to that we don't need to.
brother.
Let me ask this, and I, for our listeners might remember, I still haven't seen Prey.
Yeah.
Was it, so how big was the cast? fairly
Small.
limited number of people.
Yep.
Probably 10.
Okay.
10
And was
people
it filmed
yeah.
on?
Or maybe
Was
15?
it filmed in a location
Yeah.
as opposed to on a studio? Okay.
Yes.
So you've got
Absolutely
a
was
small
on
number of
location.
people, and you've got a location, so you basically built-in quarantine those people. So even during COVID, the conditions of filming that aren't really any different than they would have been had they not had the restrictions, because those folks are off on a location together while they're filming. Small number of people, not a lot of people coming in and out. So in that example, production was probably very normal on that one.
Yep.
And I'll say that the productions that the kids work on, like, they're still testing. Like, they still have to go test the day before. And my daughter, my youngest, went down for a test today. Had to drive all the way down to LA for a test. And they got there and they're like, "Oh, you didn't get they canceled your part. You're not." So they drove all the way down there. At least they got paid to do the round trip at least. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's crazy. It's still. I have not seen, for as much as the rest of the world seems to be trying to get back to kind of doing its thing, I have not seen the production stuff change from our side. It's still the same process behind the scenes as far as all the COVID procedures.
I have faith Taika can do a good job.
That's good.
And then just to backpedal real quick, the actress that plays Valkyrie, I love her. She's great. She was cool in Love and Thunder too. To say something positive.
Tessa
Thompson.
Thompson.
Something-
I think he's going to be
say
fine
something
because of what we
positive.
saw in The Mandalorian. He did a great job with.
True. Yeah. Yep.
Which episode was it in season 1? It was.
When he puts Natalie Portman in it, it'll be great.
He's like, you should be in one of the
But
Star Wars
we've already
films.
seen him with Star Wars,
like,
and it's been great. I have
yes.
no complaints from really any of the directors for Mandalorian. So
My only concern is that he
Says
know,
freaky in it
we
like
when
five times.
when he came in to do Star Wars,
That's
he was directing something that somebody else wrote. When he came
Right.
into Marvel with Ragnarok, he was a new director coming into an established world. Whereas with Love and Thunder, he was given complete free reign.
Free reign.
So, and with the same thing with this new Star Wars movie,
But look at the
with
difference.
this new Star Wars movie that's coming out, he's been given complete free reign. So I don't know. It's just, I'm just earmarking it right now.
Something to think about. Yep.
I mean, that's kind of I get it. It's kind of understood. Like when you go back to the original movies, right? When you have Frank Oz, that one is it's different. It just hits different, right? Compared to George or whoever else. Like there's always this style and flavor to it, and it's definitely pulling people in. It's not Crosshair's taste right now. So
It's not his.
Dude,
it's not his cup of tea.
Moon Knight was
Yeah.
Don't jump the gun, buddy.
I'm still watching it. I'm on
next week's Hunter's
I'm
Hard
watching.
Drive.
I'm
You're watching
episode
it.
3.
Well, I'll announce it now, so people maybe want to watch it too. They can. So next week is going to be Moon Knight, another doubleheader, double whammy. Moon Knight and Miss Marvel together. And guys, if you didn't watch one or the other, that's fine. Try to.
I'll
watch
have one done. I'll have
of them
Moon
at
Knight
least,
done.
or just a little bit of
I'm
one.
into that one right now.
I had my headphones off.
Cool.
What was that?
Cool. Nothing, buddy. Look over
can't
there.
watch it.
Again.
I can't watch anything.
So back
Do a front flip.
to the Natalie Portman joke that was made. So she was doing an interview for somebody. She was talking about her experience on Love and Thunder, and she said that Taika was talking to her, and he said, "Hey, I'm working on this Star Wars thing. Have you ever considered doing a part in Star Wars?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have actually."
Have you seen episodes 1, 2, and 3?
So I don't know what that says. The other
Darth
thing,
Vader's
though,
girlfriend.
Lucasfilm has what's called the story group. So they've got a group, and everything has to go through them before it gets approved and on screen. So I think that is Lucasfilm's sort of safety net, that nothing gets produced that's not going to meet up with the overall aesthetic of Star Wars. So
Yeah, imagine that.
Well,
Jeez.
the last thing I want to hear is that Taika
do some
is
research.
just another director on the hit list of Lucasfilm. So,
yeah, right.
but anyway, that was a good one, guys. Thank you, John, for that. I'm looking forward to next week's. That's enough, man.